Well, that time. Time to finish this game once and for all. After over a year, though it shouldn't have taken a year at all. But damn, the way I am. Okay, there it is. Hello, Pokin. Hope you're ready for finale part 3. Yep. This is our little finale trilogy. Why do people? Maybe I should have watched it for the last time. Yeah, well, I got some water on me. I get it. I think I finally understand. Okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that good water. Now, fine, I could jump through 4-dimensional space with our memories intact.
Yes.
Right? But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died: murder, antimatter explosions, suicide. I've died, so it's Fi, so have you. What the fuck happened in that room, anyways? I still want to know. How'd you do all this? It didn't matter that finite jump through time.
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You were all destined to die.
Okay.
Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. You is why. That's so goddamn important that it's worth all this.
I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit, that's not good enough. What did you tell us now? Of answering, Katana knelt down next to Dio and picked his knife up from off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Change the subject?
But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline. But this is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Lagomorph.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Lagomorph? Oh.
Lagomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Lagomorph. Lagomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Now, everything is in place. I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go.
To recreate the history that you remember.
Fan always turn off the string.
Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
Paused and pulled the thing out of her pocket. Small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma.
Hold on, let me turn my fan back on. Okay. What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
I don't see any writing.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with it?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
Jesus? What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
Wait,
Now hurry.
wait. I still. Go back to the future. Okay, you don't need. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. Where's this go? Here? Okay. Did I? God damn. More for the road. Alright.
Oh, looks like you're awake.
This is the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
No.
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but...
We waited and waited, and the two of you never returned.
So we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
Over at 5. Better eyes. You remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah. You got pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
Hey, what are you guys talking about? What am I? Chopped liver?
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. On a day's work. Although, wouldn't mind a little swimsuit action.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you?
Hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. That was an offer for Alice.
Not really my point.
Oh, whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
It says 10. I have 10 BP.
I've got 15 BP. That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours.
Right.
We've played the AB game 3 times.
3 times?
Yes, of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
That's good. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is, wow. That is beautiful.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
Let's get the fuck out. God, how would everyone cooperated long enough to raise all of our BP past 9? If Connie hadn't been killed, what a death to start things off. Maybe we'd been less suspicious of one another. Could the bombs have had something to do with it? All joined forces against Dio, and Phi and I had been able to disarm all of them. All of us had band together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond. Very good ending, eh? Had to admit, it'd be somewhat ironic if Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. That's been what Akane was talking about. I need Dio to wake up. I know that's weird to say. But I need to see it. I need him to know that he failed, that he's worthless.
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Alright. Wait. What about him? For some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Alice was the only holdout. She complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors. After I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio, then she reluctantly complied.
Alright, let's get going.
See ya, man. Rip Dio. Bad. For good. That's too bad. That's too bad. So sad. I bet that won't be the last of him. Who knows? Are you ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
Everyone else swallowed and nodded. Grabbed the lever and pulled it down. Let's get the fuck out of here. This is better than the last game. Last game, one guy was dead. Not that we really ever got to know that guy. Died immediately.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Alright, everybody, let's move. Didn't tell them twice. From inside was clearly a loading elevator. It looks sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. Went to the center of the plate and turned around. Door 9 door stood wide open.
1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
Bye, Dio. And he's gone. Good riddance. I mean, he ain't dead or anything,
The
but
number 9 door has closed.
there's a possibility I'll never have to see that motherfucker again.
Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
On the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar looking door. Pushed it open and went in. Yeah. Pressure exchange chamber.
Know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. It means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare to go into the actual pressure exchange room. See all those suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and enter the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute. You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
I'm subjected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. Little gang of spacemen we are. I mean, not spacemen. We're not in space. It's the desert. It's not space at all. It's just the desert. Not like on the moon or anything. As we were all inside, the process began. From my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes, waiting for the process to finish. As we at last we did, we heard the door begin to open. There's something weird going on. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. Yes, yep, that's the desert. Not the moon at all. The dead, blank, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others had, however, although I couldn't see their faces through the visor of their helmet. And more than a few gasped over the radios. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we? The desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
Hmm?
Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028. So,
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. It was clearer than I'd ever seen it. Stars. I was full of them. I've never seen in my life. I couldn't spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. The most striking feature was the moon. Blood red and massive. Much bigger, except then as I watched, a black spot began to move across the surface. I see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge. What's that?
The moon's shadow, actually.
Moon shadow. I frowned. It didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot. And brought Quark with me, just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case,
That's right. Jumpy over here.
might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Mars.
Red moon you get from a lunar eclipse.
Oh, I thought that was Mars, not Earth. Oh shit! Holy shit! That's Earth. That's Earth. Oh.
And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse.
What? No way. That's the Earth. Then where the hell are we?
The moon, of course. This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base.
Yes, it's Earth.
No way. No. You've gotta be lying. How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
I believed it. I believed it before the while for a while.
This was the moon only has
Oh,
1/6
whoops.
of Earth's gravity.
That's still there. Besides, I don't know how you explain the gravity. And what is the gravity? She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See, that looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
Excuse me? What?
Oh yeah, she's a robot, by the way.
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelavir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6.
Oh, that's like what happened to me that one time. Why?
It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters. It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground. On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us. Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity?
Virus is crazy.
Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigma Phi said something about it in the lounge.
It's that super ultra coronavirus.
About how you felt weird.
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that.
Explained anything, but what Luna said makes sense. That could explain Five's apparently superhuman strength quite well. Rock kick.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth and it's blue and green and beautiful.
Well, too bad.
That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Yeah, I had a feeling about this.
Today is January 27th.
29?
No,
Don't tell me. 30?
still no.
And just what year is this?
It's 74. 2074.
Yeah, I knew we were in the fucking future. even more than the future than 2028. Oh, that's insane. I mean, we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
Believe me if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time, and it's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time. The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
What? Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics. But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed. And thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows.
You lived through that for 50 years, bro? For almost 50 years? 45 years?
I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification.
To the other people from the first zeros.
They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth, and that'd kill the virus off for good. On April 13th, in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors. Now, the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened.
Bro made it through the first fucking, not the first actually, I think like the second non-ary game, just to be brought into an even worse hell.
But I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected, and when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate "if I die, you're coming with me" gesture, I suppose. I bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors, killing most of the world. No matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well,
God damn it, Todd. God fucking damn it, Todd Howard. It's all your fucking fault.
explosions threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty.
You know what'll happen to our planet, you know? We don't take care of our fucking planet. Especially right now. Shit's fucking crazy. And we I mean, the Earth does everything for us, and we just kind of treat it like garbage.
So there you are.
Why do you stop talking?
The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the
What
atmosphere.
I muted. Oh, I muted the computer. Must have hit a button. Red light, on the other hand, has longer wavelength. You can go a lot farther in the air. There you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere. Speechless. They possibly say. There's no reason for Tenmyoji to lie to us. We were standing on the moon. The Earth. It's 2074. I'll be fucking. I've turned 70 that year. But that's like only a year younger than my grandma. Always there. Always in. So lost in thought that I barely noticed 5 approach.
Hey, Sigma, I think I figured something out.
A window popped up on the inside of my helmet, whisper in the corner. I'm gonna be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
Extra E. What do you mean, the graffiti?
The one on floor B. I think it's an anagram. Just like on floor A.
What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma.
I'm real pissed about that.
Knock it off. Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get the man on the moon rules the infinite time. See?
Huh.
You need 6 E's to get that, so they stuck an extra one in ninth.
Man on the moon is the infinite.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma.
Oh, whoops. What are you getting at?
My God, you're slow. You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Way back in the moon. Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time. That could be Tenmyoji was talking
I
about.
think so.
That doesn't make sense though. I mean, we came from that same time period before it actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
You know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
Oh shit. Started.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
You gonna jump back in time? We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber. The others followed close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
Have a talk with somebody.
Who?
Really need me to spell it out? Behind all this.
Akane.
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you.
I still don't, we still don't know why Kay looks like me.
You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're not.
Oh shit.
You're serious?
Yes.
What the hell is going on?
Shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need you to do roll call. Once we get there, Connie can explain everything. That we headed back through the airlock. How do they keep us from aging? You can just open it again from the other side?
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course, but the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah, the grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move to the garden. Dude. Back in Dio territory, man. He's back with Dio. I can smell him from over here.
Is Akane really under here? What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. See the keyhole in the grave? Just there's this here. Oh. I pulled the key off my ankle and fit it into the hole. I set it to the right until I heard something unlock. Quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Oh.
What is this? It doesn't look like a coffin.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod. Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
Left from the cover and frosted over, making it a pack? I don't know. Couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
You have to hold the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes. Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people to cold sleep. You need something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
Today was a good day. I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered
What do you remember?
everything.
Ain't that convenient?
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one. Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB Project.
The AB Project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
We begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, You could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Maybe you could have made better fucking puzzles.
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Alright.
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes. I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course, more specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes. In preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? And this is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh?
But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform prime decomposition in the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice,
Hold on.
we could have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust.
He said bomb, but it spells detonation. Just detonation, whatever.
This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying you couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, and headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio, his real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul. which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9, hence the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper. We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
Unobjective. We're all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, Luna, and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility. But I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yeah. I saw a hologram. Yo, what the? Yeah, what the fuck is this guy? Who the hell is this? I forgot all about this. Who the fuck is this? Some fucking space pirate. Who the fuck are you?
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
What's gathered around the pod? Glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
I laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. Swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh. Free? Count 'em. Free? Free me's? The fuck is going on here? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other something like this before. A warehouse at floor B. In front of the white door. It was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw. I know there's Sigma males everywhere around this fucking facility. Face. Never figured out who he really was. Unless there a man with my face underneath Kane's armor. That makes sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubocurine. And that was the end of it. But wait. The person in the bottom is the same person I've seen before at the warehouse. Who was wearing Kane's armor?
You finally noticed.
So are you Akane?
Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
What the fuck?
Akane Kurashiki,
It's you, June. I mean, Akane from. But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
Barely hear what they were saying. Mine was still reeling. I feel like all the air had been knocked out of me. All I could do to not collapse. Right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
That's such a great
Once you
little clip.
saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least. I carried your bodies to the third AB room, and then took Dio's to the fifth. After that, I went into the first room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the sixth room. Couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
It was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat. Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
No.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Literally, but doesn't he look like me? Isn't he supposed to look like me? We're not gonna question that he looks like me?
Me either. Total stranger.
Hey, come on, what are you guys saying? Right here. Same face?
Huh? Huh?
Are you alright, Mr. Sigma?
I need the camera to pan to me right now. Right the fuck now.
Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? Didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. Pond! I ran to it and threw myself down on my knees. Falling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down, calm down, calm down, damn it. Struggled to take deep breaths, then slowly peered into the pond looking for my reflection. Holy shit. You know, we hadn't seen him like the whole game, except for that intro, I'm pretty sure. So, wow. No one said anything about this? About the eye? Come on now. No, this can't be real. Face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb.
That's my name. I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Sigma.
Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. Zero, the mastermind of the AB project,
I am Zero.
is you.
Yeah. What? No, that's not possible. Bullshit. shit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be a pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him. His
Create?
name is Kyle Clive, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future.
So K is like my creation? Like my son. That's my son.
When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor.
Yup, son.
Ever since he was born.
My
he's
boy.
lived
That's
inside
my boy.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body.
I think Dio awakened and he's out there reactivating all the bombs. Like he found a way to escape and he's just reactivating all the bombs while this is happening.
That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making. A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old.
This dude was born in 2011. My, like, I don't know. No. 2007.
Your consciousness
Or 8.
has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older.
Well, either 2006 or 2007. Then.
Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down.
Well, I'll be right back.
So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened. The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body, until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is, Sigma? Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body? Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past. That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at sea. Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way.
What the fuck is the games going on?
Illustration closely.
I put it on auto.
Take all these lines.
Shit.
and untangle
Shit. Shit. I put it on auto. Well, fucking. What the fuck? I put it on auto. What did I miss? Yep, auto. God damn it. Hold on. Let me see when I BRB'd on this. My God, fucking. As soon as I said I'll be right back, it would fucking went. As soon as I said I was BRB, it went to auto. Explaining how Sigma abduction date is too late to save Earth from all reactors exploding. Okay. Oh yes, 36 hours of real time is bad. You guys have already seen this, so I'll just read this in my mind. Okay.
You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path, with one exception.
Hello, hello. And then my mic turns off. Line here, this line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
What did I press to turn on auto? Theoretical 6 go to the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
The old version of me would keep Radical 6 from getting out. Jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes, that is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C, and for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
I can travel right about now. A real world. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
Hit that point C as January 27th, 2074, which is today. It'll be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon, yes.
I want to trigger it.
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness like a bullet from a slingshot.
How do you propose to do that?
And I tell you, a crisis. A moment balanced between life and death. That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out. I mean this.
Oh! The oath knife? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Holy shit. Fi! Didn't let toward them. Thought it was already in motion, the knife driving towards Fi's chest. Almost there. I regained consciousness. I was on the floor with a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut. Something was in the way. You know what to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. Just to my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. I had written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego iris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Uh, uh, that's it. That's it. Well, I do know that there is one more game after this. So. Really. Oh, we gotta play the blast bat fucking bumping tunes. What up, man? Yes, sir. Real. When I saw him change them and shit. I don't really know what to say. What? But I thought. Wait. What the fuck is this? Oh. It's not over. It's not over, guys. Hold on.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Well, shit. Well, fuck me. The moment I just stared at the TV, the roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room. Till with a click, it disappeared too. Power gone out? Heard footsteps behind me. Turned around. Hey, what's up, man? You. Akane?
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me! Damn.
Killed?
Guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine. Yes,
Okay.
you and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
How the fucking bugs look at you when you lift up the rock. Me and Phi?
Yes, I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump. Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
That's in Clover, right?
Yes.
Got the third one. Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are, and she still is.
That means that you froze her. Point C version of her jumped back into her body.
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
It's the point B. Her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. Why don't you just stick me in one of those
I
pods?
can't do that. You
Why
haven't
not?
figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project.
Okay.
After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must otherwise you
God
will
damn
be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the 3rd AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out, and you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
I change history? You think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an expert too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? Fine, I jump to point A. What are we gonna do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh crap, we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how'd you know it's so
The
dangerous?
67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I
That
say?
the test facility is full of traps. There was one point. A woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake and lost your arms and your right eye.
My arm is in my right eye? Goddamn! What the hell? Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
Looks forward to the window appeared outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? That's the wrong way to look at it. Couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. End or beginning? Saw the end or maybe the beginning? What are you talking about? Okay. Is that it? I think, is that it? Only see this one next time. Guess that's it. Guess it ends on a cliffhanger. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's what the fuck is this? Come on now. You fucking with me. You're fucking with me. You're fucking with me now.
Where?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle.
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, ran around to the other side of the partition, whatever. More in this game has got. This Robot sink was covered with a film of dirt. I wiped it off my sleeve and my reflection stood back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
I still questioned it when I didn't know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Clem was. Their history, he had been called K and worn a suit of armor. He had just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rezone 9. Through late in his life, Connie had appeared as a mother figure. He had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about it. Even though I knew it, I could feel it. Really Kyle Clem? I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. An image of Sigma Clem in his younger days. Looked down. He's still out. There was Dio, still handcuffed. Turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
Today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes,
Why am I here?
the doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes, I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
Ah.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right. Mr. Klein.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return them? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not going to change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually, they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure. That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy? Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, all right? You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
Oh, then that means we get to stay together?
You'll be Junpei's dropping some fucking hardcore shit right now.
Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course, he is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
In the end,
My mic off. Okay,
Trevor and I were just pawns.
there we go. Thought my mic was off.
Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we're completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But
Kinda sucks, though.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
but we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Even if it is for the greater good,
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different. How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time too.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's
Cat.
Fucking cat.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind. I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Okay.
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a Merman or a Wolfman.
You say all those names?
I'm not a Brahmin or Common or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Fortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from point E, you headed straight to point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places, and you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor. It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v1 plus v2. You see what I'm saying? In most situations it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. You understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past. I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not.
The fuck is happening?
Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle, or could you be someone else entirely?
Then where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th. 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time.
Okay.
I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Klein's spare. But that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
Even?
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now. You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine. Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
Eternity end. Okay. Now is that the end? Hello. Okay, there we go. God damn. I think, is that it? For real? For real? For real now? I think that's it. I don't see anything else here. No. I don't see anything else. I think we're good. No, we're not watching that. Well, I guess that'll be all. Crazy game ending like that. Yeah, it was all right, but I think I definitely had my issues with it. I think maybe it's because we played on hard mode. I don't know why I decided to do that. I think there was a lot of Goodnight Gamers. Yeah, I think there was a lot of bullshit puzzles. I think the puzzles, there were some, like, it was either too easy or it was too hard. You know, and I don't mind like a puzzle being hard. It's just, I don't know, they weren't fun to solve. And I think could have been a lot shorter. I think there was a lot of time spent just seeing like the same things happen. You know, It's all right though. It wasn't bad. There were some parts I liked, characters, you know. But I had fun. I hope you had fun. And whenever